Hey, Rich. Good to see you, man.
Hi, Ben. How are
Hey,
you, sir?
Doing great, man. Thanks so much for joining in for this 5-lesson series. I hope you're excited.
I'm excited, and thanks for helping me.
Yeah, no doubt.
Someone mistook me for Steve Morrison last week, and I can't have that.
That's not good. You never want to be compared to Steve Morris.
That's right.
Well, I appreciate you filling out this form ahead of time so I get
Okay.
to know you a little bit better. So I see you're from Punta Gorda.
Yes.
All right, and your whole family plays golf. That's awesome.
Yes. Some are good, and some aren't so good.
Okay, all right. And you listed here that you're a scratch golfer. That's pretty darn good. Very
I've been a
impressive.
golf professional for many years, but
Okay.
I don't play as much as I used to.
All right.
So it's all guts and inner determination.
Okay.
Sometimes I have it, sometimes I don't. But I do have some areas I want to fine tune, and I'm making an effort, which is why I'm seeing it.
Awesome, man. Well, good. I'm glad you're making that effort because that's what golf is all about.
Okay.
Putting in the extra effort. The nice thing about golf is, regardless of how many times you do it or how many lessons you get, you're always putting extra effort in. So it's not like you peak yourself out and you stop. You consistently get better throughout the course of your game.
That's what I want to do. I want
Well,
to
good.
play a little bit better again,
All
like I
right.
used to.
Awesome. Well, we got 5 lessons put together.
Okay.
On areas that I think we can work on to improve your game. So first thing that we're going to do is we're going to start off with full swing.
Sure.
We're going to go over setup a little bit, and then we're going to go over the fundamentals of your golf swing, and we're going to see how we can tweak that to make it a little bit better.
Sure. Let's
All
get
right.
started.
Yeah, let's do this.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. I have to say, Rich, I'm very impressed with your ball striking now. So I hope those few tips worked out for you. And so let's kind of review what we talked about. The first thing we went over is our setup.
Okay.
And explain to me what we did with your setup here.
Well, my alignment was good with the feet, knees,
Yeah.
hips. My shoulders were closed as a natural predisposition.
Okay.
So in practice, it worked out good after a couple swings. I need to consciously think about going through my normal setup process and then making sure that my shoulders not necessarily have to be open to the line, but at least not be closed, which is what my tendency is. So I'll over-exaggerate.
Yeah.
From here to there,
There
it's
you go.
better.
Perfect. And every time we set up to the ball, what we're going to do is we're going to go with our normal stance.
Right.
And we're going to consciously open those shoulders so that we know that we're doing the drill that we need to be doing.
Gotcha.
And so what you need to do for that is while you're hitting on the range, again, I would say every single one of your shots, let's start off with our normal stance and let's open that shoulder. And so
Okay.
that's what you need to work on when you're out on the range doing that.
Right.
All right, what did we cover next as far as your in-swing goes?
Well, I was a little bit out of sequence,
Yeah.
and I need to get to the top of the backswing and let the hips go first before the hands, and that allowed everything to stay in place.
Perfect.
And you know, that was actually everything we covered today didn't feel that awkward to me once we transitioned into it. 2 or 3 swings, and I was very comfortable with all. I mean, I was happy with the results.
Good.
It felt good. At address, I mean, I won't lie. At the first time you do it, it feels different.
Yeah.
So therefore, it makes it uncomfortable. But a couple swings, and while it's not ingrained yet, it's very doable. And the ball striking and the ball flight shows me that it's the right way to go, and those are the tweaks that I need.
Good, good. Well, we don't want to tweak anything too significant. You're already a really good player. We just want to make some minor adjustments that make you a little more consistent.
Am I better than Steve?
All right. Well, today we're going to focus a little bit on short game.
Okay.
So we're going to focus on pitching and putting around the green.
Sure.
We're going to do some flop shots, and then we're going to throw you in some weird,
Flop
unique
shots?
Yeah, everybody's favorite. We're going to put you in some really unique shots too. And
Okay.
we're going to talk about certain techniques because a lot of times those unique situations we have no clue what to do. Well, there are people and there are ways of doing everything that kind of improve it a little
Okay.
bit. So we'll dive into those, and then we'll talk a little bit about different techniques and different styles
Right.
around the green that can maybe you could kind of incorporate into your game to help you get to the next level as far
Okay.
as chipping and putting goes. So as far as short game goes, the first thing we're going to focus on is going to be. All right, Rich. Well, I hope you enjoyed yourself today, and I
Thanks,
hope
man.
you got some good tidbits out of it. So today we covered a little bit on pitching and putting, and what we really focus on there. Now you have a technique that's pretty solid already, but what I wanted to do was introduce something that's a little bit new and maybe help you create some feel with some other clubs in your bag.
Sure.
So you're the standard guy. A lot of people do this, and I've been guilty of it too. Grabbing 56 no matter what, whether it's a thin lie, thick lie, no matter where you at are around the grain, grabbing that 56 because it's easy and convenient for us. So what I want to challenge you to do, and that we did today with some drills, I want to challenge you to utilize some other clubs in your bag so that way you can develop a feel for all of them. And then the one drill I really want you to do is the one and done drill.
Okay.
All right, so if you could do that, You said you practiced 3 times for about 45 minutes. So let's go ahead and incorporate about 15 minutes at least on that drill alone.
Okay.
All right. And then the other thing that we focused on today was a little bit of putting. So
I
now-
like the clock drill with the T in the middle.
Yeah, so now that's one that I really want you to utilize, because that's going to allow us to aim small and miss small, and that's really what it's all about. And you're a field putter already, so we didn't focus a lot on technique, and to be honest, you roll it pretty good already, and I don't want to mess with that. So what you really need to focus on is doing proper practice that really helps you get better.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to do the one and done drill with pitching and chipping around the green, and then we're going to do the clock drill where we're focusing on a left edge, right edge, or center of the hole.
Okay.
All right?
I can do that.
I look forward to seeing you again next week. Next week, we're going to focus on a little bit of ball flight, kind of
Okay.
making those variations. So prepare yourself for that. But in the meantime, practice what we first worked on with our full swing, and then what we just worked on today with short game. All right, well, today we're going to focus on, and this was by request from yourself, we're going
Right.
to focus a little bit on ball flight.
Okay.
All right, so I do have some things set up for you. We're going to talk about why the ball is doing the stuff that it is, and which I'm sure you're already aware of, the ball flight laws
Sure.
and everything else, but I have some drills that maybe you haven't seen before that are just going to help us practice that and learn how to shape shots in different directions
Okay.
when we need it, because not all the time does it require a draw.
Right.
Sometimes a nice soft fade into some of those hole locations really going to help you
No
out.
question. A whole location dictates the ball flight you prefer to have.
Exactly. And then also the tee shots as well with the driver, it's also going to dictate what kind of shape we want to have on that golf ball when we
Right.
hit it there. So
As long as I don't hit like Steve, I'm happy.
exactly. The moral of the story here is we're going to be better than Steve in all aspects of life.
Well, that's pretty easy to obtain.
Okay, well, let's start. Next week,
Okay.
today we worked on ball flight a little bit, and you have the drill down pat. Actually, you didn't miss a single shot when trying to shape it back to the target, so maybe give yourself a little more challenge, and you can really kind of narrow those gaps a little bit and try to land it in a certain target point, because you ace that drill.
Right.
And then also, last time when we did short game last week, I challenged you to utilize different clubs. Let's continue doing that.
Okay.
All right, so you can develop a little bit more feel with that. And then lesson number 1 that we did a couple weeks ago, we really focused on your alignment. And what was really we needed to work on was your shoulder alignment.
Okay.
And so make sure you're still doing that. And then also sequencing, which you said you have no problem with right now.
No, I feel
and
very
based
good
on
about it.
those swings that you made, I mean, some improvements have been made, some big improvements.
Awesome.
So, good work. I hope you're seeing results out on the golf course, if you're ever getting out to the. All right, but today we're going to focus a little bit on the mental approach of the game. And a lot of the stuff that I'm going to use, you might have heard from your good buddy, Dr. Bob, already.
Okay.
So I've picked his brain a bunch, and I've utilized a lot of his techniques too. And I think everybody can utilize them to some aspect, and most people do. They just don't have the funny, catchy names that Dr. Bob has for everything.
Right,
here. So, the first thing we're going to kind of talk about is just kind of we're going to go over your setup, and we're going to go over the routine that you take to the golf course for every swing.
Okay.
So kind of do your routine for me,
Right.
and then kind of walk me through it. Explain to me what you're doing and what you're thinking about when you. Beautiful. Good putt, Rich. All right. Awesome, man. So we played a few holes, and we kind of went over some positive self-talk. And really, that's golf. Everyone always says it's 90% mental, 10% physical, or whatever else you want to call it. But
Okay.
what you really need to focus on is being positive to yourself and not letting those hazards or anything creep into your mind when you're standing over shots.
Right.
I mean, honestly, golf is fun, and it always needs to remain fun. So the second that your self-talk starts getting away from you, which you said in your case, when you have a problem and you're unable to correct it in a few holes, that's when the self-talk starts to get a little negative.
Right.
So what things we really need to practice, for every shot we need to, before we hit that shot, we need to tell ourselves something positive. And
Right.
you did it very good. So when you had that bunker shot, the first thing you said was, I'm going to hold this.
Right.
When we're rolling up here to your birdie putt, you said there's no question this putt's going in the hole. And obviously you saw that you just drained it. So that was a good putt there, good birdie, good
Thanks.
finish. So the things, again, we need to work on is just being positive at all times. Even when our swing starts to break down a little bit, The good news is we're playing golf and we're not working at that time.
Right.
So that's always a positive as well.
Totally agree.
Yeah, but,
Golf is fun.
Yeah, thanks so much. We've had 4 lessons now, and in the final lesson, what we're going to do next week, we're actually going to play a few holes together.
Okay.
And we're going to do what's called transfer practice. So that means we're going to take what we've practiced on the range and practice in our sessions, and we're going to take that to the golf course and apply all those methods there. So I'll see you next week for some golf.
All right, sounds good, Ben.
Thanks
Thanks,
Rich.
buddy.
Appreciate it.
You too. I'm ready for our big match.
Today is the day. All right.
Good luck, because you're going to need it.
Good.
You gave me some good tips.
Okay. All right. Well, I hope you beat me today. All right. But the thing that we're going to focus on most today is transferring the things that we learn to the golf course.
Okay.
Okay. So let's go ahead and rip
I'm going
away.
to utilize everything you taught me.
Do it. All right, good ball.
Thanks. Oh, I pressed. In there, Ben.
Yep. Must make here. Get in there. Get in. Oh,
Good putt. Nice par.
all right. Knock it in there, Rich.
Oh, boy.
It's all right. Good
Didn't
par.
read that very good.
All right. Well, you got me one up there, Richie. Good playing, man. That was
Thank you,
fun.
Ben.
Yeah.
That was a good lesson series.
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, man. So,
I did enjoy it.
Well,
and,
good.
you know, I'm awfully proud of you, too. You're going to be a great PJ member.
I appreciate that.
And congratulations on getting to level 3.
Yeah.
Congratulations on being one of the best tournament directors in the whole country. No, I'm serious. I mean, you've got a lot of skills, and to have all that at your young age, you've got a great career in front of you with PGA and in golf. So
I appreciate you helping
thank you
me
for the
out.
lessons. I mean, we all need mentoring in both directions, and
Yeah. Well,
I
hope
let
you're
my
able-
game go sometimes, and I need that second set of eyes, and I've got to trust with you, so it's good.
Well, no, it's good that we both work with each other. So we'll both watch each other's game and improve each other, and
Yeah.
then have good matches like this too.